guys, Betsy here with Unique Paper 15, and we are making a card today. Can you believe it? So I'm going to be using my new Mama Elephant Fly With Me, along with some inks and oxides and my MFT cloud stencil. And I'm showing you here that I've already stamped and put on some masking. This is actually from the Dollar Tree. It's like a 4x3 sticky note kind of set. And it's actually my favorite masking paper because the whole thing is stick. So I use that a lot for my masking. So I'm going to take my MFT cloud stencil, which you know we all love because it has 4 sides. You flip it over, it has 4 more. It's great. So I've got my little craft mat down so I can do some blending. And this is actually before I got my new Tim Holtz like glass table thing, so I'm still using that. So here's some oxides I have. I have worn lipstick, tumbled glass, I have an ink that's salty ocean, scattered straw, squeezed lemonade. So I'm going to start off with my salty ocean distress ink, and I'm just going to lightly ink blend, and I'm going to get the darkest blue there, rotate it without re-inking, and then I'm going to flip to a new cloud, again without re-inking, just using the residual what's left on my little foam pad there. And then I'm going to flip it again and switch to tumbled glass, still distress ink. We haven't gone to the oxides yet. Doing a light blend again, flipping and not re-inking because it just gives that nice gradient where it's going softer and softer. So now we've got a new edge, same thing, just lightly blending right there against the edge. And now I'm going to switch over. So I have my worn lipstick, which is an oxide. I'm taking a little bit, and this is going to be kind of the darkest pink area because it's freshly inked, obviously. So I'm just doing some soft blending. And what I'm going to do is flip to a new edge without re-inking. It's kind of the same thing throughout here. I try to go through like maybe 3 cloud edges to use all the ink, you know, to go softer. Now I'm switching to my sponge sugar distress ink to give it an even softer look. And we just keep moving those clouds. I don't know if you realize, but after I do 4, I flip it upside down, you know, flip it over, and then I use those 4 as well. So everything is a little bit different. I'm trying to not have a pattern here. So I think that it gives like dimension when you do that. So now I've switched over to my scattered straw, and this is an oxide, and that's going to be like my darkest yellow. Now I'm going to my squeezed lemonade distress ink, and I'm going right on top of that scattered straw because I wanted to soften up those edges a little bit. Again, new edge, some soft blending, and again, same thing, new edge, soft blending. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reline the edge up with the proper blending. I'm trying to think how to say that. And I'm coming in with my sponge sugar against that blue, that tumbled glass we did. Or I'm sorry, that was salty ocean. So what I'm doing is I'm coming right below that ridge, and it's making almost like a darker blue and a purple. And what it's doing is it's making those clouds look deeper, like, you know, they're farther away, and it gives it dimension. Now I'm doing the same thing with my squeezed lemonade against the pink, because you guys know how the pink and the yellow, when you blend it, it gives that really pretty like orangish coral kind of look. I love that look. So that's what I'm doing there. And now I'm going to pick a new ink, and I'm going to line it up against that. It's actually a dark pink. It looks purple, but it's a dark pink. So I'm coming in again with the sponge sugar, just really lightly. And you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Everywhere where there's a gap where you can see a significant amount of white, I'm coming in and I'm just doing a little more blending. And I think we're good. All those clouds I think look like they have dimension. So now what I want to do is remove all of my little sticky notes there. And you see these things really stick. I mean, and these are from the Dollar Tree. And they come in like a pack of 200. I absolutely love these sticky notes. So let's go ahead and remove all the sticky notes, or masking I should say. And what I've done is I've left the stamps in my stamp platform. So now I just want to see who is getting the sentiment in their balloon. And I've decided. So we'll put that aside and come back to that. So now my stamping platform, everybody's still lined up. I kept everything where it should be, and I'm going to re-stamp it just to give it that nice crispness. And I'm using my MFT, and it's that new extreme black. It's copic friendly. I absolutely love this ink. Okay, now that we've done that, I'm going to start coloring. And so I've got my Spectrum Noirs, and these are my BGs. Just so you know, they come in a set if you guys don't have them already. And I start out with my BG10. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm doing the same with every elephant. What I'm doing is I'm pretending my light source is on the top left. I'm just going on the bottom line of every elephant, so the bottom of the trunk, the bottom of the leg, the bottom of the arm, and you'll see here again the bottom of the leg. So I'm pretending that that light is coming from the top left, and you'll see I'm doing the same for every single elephant. I'm just tracing. So that's what I did with my BG10. Now I'm going to come in with the BG8. These are the brown grays. I absolutely love this grouping. If another marker company had an equivalent, I would love to know what it is, because I would buy that whole line. I just love the brown grays. I personally haven't found anything yet that measures up. So you guys can see I'm just tracing. I'm literally going along right where I did the BG10. So I did the 8, now we're coming in with the BG6, and we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm just coming right above everybody else's trace. Just boom, tracing exactly. We're literally doing the same thing, just like a hair above, but still touching it, so that they kind of bleed in together, if you will. So that's what I'm doing there. And you can see it's starting to come together a little bit. Okay, almost done there with the 6. And now we're going to come in with the BG4. Now you're really going to start to see it close in here. So the BG4 is going to kind of thicken up those lines and start giving that gradient. This is where you're really going to see the difference from that dark to the light. So we're coming in and trying to leave a little bit of white, and even if it's just the smallest amount of white in each little area, that way we can do a little bit of shine, a little bit of reflect. So just the smallest amount of the BG4. You see what I mean? Like, it's really coming together. We only have some white spots left now. Now this is the BG2. We're really just going to color in those white spots, because those are going to be our highlights. So I'm coming in with all that white, and I'm just trying to blend in that 4 and 6 to make it look like it's one smooth transition, if that makes sense. Now, I am not a master colorist. I don't even know if I can call myself a colorist. I enjoy coloring, but Jennifer McGuire said it best. It's just no pressure, just color, and also Elaine from Marker Geek said, we're not making like real life images here. We're having fun. So that's what I'm doing. So this is BG1, and I'm just coming in and lightening up those highlight areas a little more. So I'm going to show you here. You can see the blend. I think it all blends well. And that's what's nice about these sets. They're meant to do that. If you do them in order that they give them to you, they all come out perfect. Okay, so this is my Dick Blick 011 and my Copic RV00. We're going to come in and do some ears. And this Dick Blick 011, it's like a corally pink. It's really pretty. I'm trying to think of what I could compare it to, but that's it. Maybe bubblegum. Okay, so now my RV00, just to give it some soft pink and soften up those edges. Again, not a lot of surface area here. They're just little ears. And I don't know, I don't think I did. I should have gone back and put a little bit of pink cheek, but it is what it is. You guys are probably thinking I forgot about the bottoms of their feet. I did not. We're going to do that now. So another blick marker, and I believe this is my cool gray 20. It's either my cool gray or my warm gray, but it's a 20. And I'm just giving some very soft gray pads because they're elephants, right? Okay, now this might look intense, but it's not. What we have here are a grouping of my pink Nouveau markers, my Nouveau purple markers because they come in trios, my Copic blues, 3 that I've chosen, and my Spectrum Noir yellows. And those are going to be the colors of the balloons. So we're going to choose who's getting what color, and we're going to start. That's simple. Okay, so the first one I think I decide to do is the pinks. Let's see here. I'm lining them up. Who's getting what? And I try to do it with the colors of the clouds. That's how my process was. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with these pinks. Now, if you guys don't have the Nouveau alcohol markers, oh my God, I love these. Again, they're meant to go together. So you have 3. You have Delicate Rose, Pink Lady, and Paradise Pink. I always do my dark first after taking the marker class that I did with, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart here. I just did some marker classes. It'll come to me probably at the end of this video. But she taught us to do the dark first and then blend out to your light and then go backwards if you'd like. And that's what I've been doing since I took her class, and I really do enjoy it. It's worked for me. So a kitten clouder. There you go. See, I knew it'd come back. Kitten clouder. So I just went to the second one, which is the medium, and now this is the lightest. And you see it's perfect. I mean, and I think it's because those markers are meant to go together, and they give you these in a set, so you really can't mess it up, which is good for somebody like me because, you know, I am no Elaine Hughes. I'm still working on it. Okay, so that balloon set is done. Now we're going to go to the next one, which is my yellow. These again are the Spectrum Noir, and this is, I believe, my CT4, CT2, and CT1. Again, another set. And if you guys want to kind of enhance your coloring skills, I recommend doing this too. It's just using things that were, you know, kind of pre-planned out. It works well until we get our feet wet and we understand how these all work. So there's the middle, the CT2. Now we're coming in with the light one, the CT1. So just a little bit about Mama Elephant. I love Mama Elephant stamps. I don't think there's one I don't like, but I love their elephants. They could probably just make all elephants, and I would love every single one of them. I mean, they're just so adorable. Okay, so now we're coming back to the Nouveau Trio, which is the purple set. And again, I'm coming in with the darkest. Now, Nouveaux have numbers on their tips, but they do have colors as well, but I believe it's only on the packaging. And the purples are, they're called the Royal Purples, and you have, let's see here, what are the names of those? Spring Lilac, Sugar Plum, and Black Currant Tart. So this is the darkest one. And I went under the elephant because he's sitting on top of the balloon, which is going to cause a shadow because his little paws or feet are on there. And now the middle one, just barely. And now I'm leaving a nice white gap so I can get that highlight. And now this is the lightest one, and I'm just literally going to kind of scribble around and blend those edges out. I think it looks nice. You don't see a lot of yellow, a lot of highlight in that yellow balloon, but there is. I think it's just not picking up on camera. It's in my blue Copics. I picked my B29 for my darkest. And what I'm doing is I'm just sticking with that same method. If my light source is on the top left, I want to make my darkest the opposite of that, so the bottom right. And I'm leaving a little white gap, which I learned if you do that, it almost gives more of a dimensional round effect. So now I'm coming in with B16, and I'm going to softly go around that edge where I left a little bit of white, and also on the interior too. so it lightens it on the outside and on the inside, of course leaving a white gap. And now I'm coming in with my B02, and this is going to be my lightest color. And again, I just kind of scribble when it comes to my lightest. There's no like super amazing method here. So the balloons are done. I'm going to show you what they look like. I think they came out nice. So we're done with the balloons. Now we actually need to make a card. So what I need to do now is I need to stamp that sentiment before we move on to the card process. And I chose "Oh Happy Day." And for this I used my VersaFine black ink. I really want to get that new VersaClair. I'm dying to try that. Everybody's saying how good it is, and I can't imagine, how can black inks get any better? But I mean, they're swearing by it. Carissa Wiley loves it so much, so I definitely have to try it. So what I'm doing is I'm just lining up some papers, and you guys are seeing my actual process here, how I decide on my card base. So I think black is the winner. Now this is a very thin black cardstock, almost like something a kid would use in school. It's I think I got this from either Joanne or Michael's in this super bundle. So trimming off my phrase, and you guys will see me do this 100 times. My girlfriend April actually sent me a really good tip, which was to use like a soft nail file to help do that. And so I've been doing that lately, but this card I did a little while ago, so it does help a lot. Thank you, April. So now what I'm going to do is I'm lining this up, and I want to see how long do I actually want this card. I don't need all of that bottom there, so I'm going to trim it down and line it up against this black again. I mean, we're literally, I don't measure. I just go with it. I let the card kind of tell me, how big it wants to be. I try not to be too structured in my art. I think it's funner that way, and it's more organic. So now I'm going with my card base. I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to take my little tool there and decide on my bend. And again, I like to go inwards. That's just my thing. I don't know why. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. So now I'm going to line it up and make sure everybody's nice and clean. And again, like I said, you'll see me clean this thing 100 times. It's the thinnest black paper. So now we have our card base. Trim it up. And we need to adhere everything. And again, I'm not done with this elephant front piece yet. I still have a few more tricks I'm going to do to it. So line that guy up. And now I want to put him on his base. I absolutely love these elephants. These, along with the little, the new monkeys I got. Oh my gosh, you guys. I feel like I'm neglecting the rest of my stamps because I'm using these so much. Okay, so I'm taking my 3M foam tape, and I'm just giving some dimension to this card. And I like to stretch my 3M foam tape, so I don't cover it like a whole entire sheet. I just, take pieces and cover up the big gaps that would give it the most support. So I'm going to take off my adhesive or my backing paper and put it down on the card base. And I always do this. Do you guys do that where you open up your card base? It makes it easier for you to line it up. I don't know, it's always easier for me like that. Okay, so now that we have our card base, I'm going to show you the dimension there. I'm going to show you up close what they look like. I think they are so adorable. I love these guys. Okay, so now I'm going to do some embellishing. I have my Spectrum Noir sparkle markers, and I absolutely love these. I got them like 2 years ago in HSN, and I have not run out of one yet. I absolutely love these guys. So I'm just going to add a little bit of sparkle and shimmer to all the balloons. And it just gives it a little bit of something extra. I think it's cute. So done with that, very simple. Now I want to put on some embellishments. I have my Studio Katia, I believe it's called confetti sequins. I absolutely love these. We got these in a Simon Says stamp kit one time, and I love them so much that I went back and I got more because I was kind of using them sparingly because I had so little. And these are my Honeybee little like rhinestones, and they're a bunch of different colors and different sizes. So just putting them in my little ramekin there. And I have my little quick stick. But I did want to say that now I have that Marvi Uchida gem picker, and I love that so much more. So I'm just taking some random pieces here. I believe I started out with the confetti sequins, and I did 3 little glue dots next to each balloon set. And then I come in with a small rhinestone, and I'm just placing them on those little glue dots. I'm not being picky. Whatever comes up on the jewel picker is what I'm using, so that it's very random. So I just did 3 little embellishments on each elephant, and I think it's cute. I don't think it's too much. I think it's just enough. And I always try to stick to that rule of 3. So that's pretty much it. The card is done. I'm going to give you guys a look at it here. Those cute little elephants. Oh, happy day. I love those clouds. I absolutely adore this card. I think it's fun for anybody to receive too. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you're new to the channel, please, connect with me and leave a message down below. I'd love to maybe connect with you on Instagram as well. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.